It's going to be so juicy.
It's gonna be good.
Such juice, wow.
Hope people remember it. I know.
It's
I may have to leave a little early depending on my coworker.
God damn it, Arcelia!
I'm sorry, aren't I just the worst?
No, you're wonderful.
No, you're good.
You're wonderful, Arcelia. You know that. Oh, that's great.
Sorry, I'm checking to see.
Oh, I thought that had just shut down.
No, I'm seeing if people messaged.
Oh,
I don't know.
oh, look. We're good. We're good. It records.
There we go.
It records.
Tapped back.
Just give it one more minute and then we'll get started here. I mean, there's 35 people here. We're only seeing. Okay, yeah, there's a second room open.
Sorry, here's the second page.
Oh, hello, everyone on the second page I had not seen.
Oh, Emily, hi, nice to meet you.
Emily, hello.
I don't know if you were here last week, so I'm sorry if it's news to me. Nice to meet you.
Celia, I love your thing on your head.
Thank you. Yeah, so Celia was just talking to me about that, and I was like, oh, it's just a little throwback to spring for me. I do love all seasons, though, but yeah.
I like all
love
seasons, just not the ones where I'm cold and I'm in them.
Yeah, Jack doesn't care about in winter.
I really like the snow. I like to play in the snow, but I don't like to live in the place where it's winter all the time. Just a personal preference. Maybe I'll get over it.
No, I don't think you will.
Let's just give one more minute and then we can get started. People are starting to stream in here. I think the thought was maybe, at 4 you click in. For future reference, you can click in a few minutes early just to get settled and whatever. When the clock hits 4:02, I'll get things started. It's good to be here with my team. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice meeting.
43 is in now. Very good.
Welcome.
Hi, Chanel. Hi, Dallas. Hi, Lucy. Let's see. Share everyone. Let's sit here and say.
Oh, we're gonna say 43 names.
I think. Do you want to start?
Let's get started. Yeah.
Yeah, and other people will come in. So
all right.
Click back to mine. So, all right.
All right. Everyone want to mute themselves and we can get started. All right. Put it on my face. Ready? Okay, here we go. Welcome back to another juicy sales and coaches meeting. We're all here. There are 44 of us here in this meeting, 44 participants, says the Zoom application. And it's time to settle into this meeting. This is going to be a productive meeting, one where we get much done vibrationally within. And this is going to be the meeting where things start to turn around. And I know last week's meeting was that, but this week's meeting is also that. And I mean turn around in the place where you actually make money. So let's talk about that for a minute. So please hear my full question. And then when my question is complete, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand in, if you agree. The question is, who here is very pleased with the amount of money they're earning from living their life purpose? You're really satisfied. You're like, this is all the money that I could ever hope for in great abundance. Go ahead and raise your hand right now if this is you. I'm trying to make any mean comments. If you're really satisfied, as I said, raise your hand. With all the money you're making right now. I thought I saw one hand raised. Keep them high. A little left, please.
Some people I can't see. Oh,
Zara. So please click. Tell us, Zara. You are completely sad. Oh, I can unmute you. That's nice.
She unmuted you.
Hi, how are you?
Herself.
Hi.
So nice.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
And
good.
yourself?
Having a good day today?
Yes, it's 11 p.m. on Friday night.
So we got Zara Moneybags over here. Cashing in, making bank.
Well, I mean, I've been lucky enough to have got a job that I do love. I started loving it.
Yeah.
And the income was definitely more than made me happy.
Okay.
So the income coming in is definitely what I want.
Uh-huh.
But I think I'm losing the money just as fast, and that's probably something else. But I am making,
So you're making a lot of money, but it's not enough money.
or more, it's too many costs. I don't know.
You're a big spender, Zara.
Or paying off debt, actually.
Paying
Yeah.
on that. So the question was, are you more than satisfied with all of the income? And your answer is actually no, because it's still not enough.
I wouldn't say, okay, more than satisfied, maybe not, but I am definitely satisfied.
Oh, you're not actually satisfied.
It could always be more.
Ah. But the question was, are you completely satisfied with the income? And there is a certain point, and this may be mythical, a mythical or a legendary or an absurd idea to think that one could be satisfied with one's income. Now, of course, I am satisfied with this twin flamey over here of mine. I am completely satisfied.
Yeah, me too.
And, of course, I am always delighted to increase the amount of love in our relationship.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't mean there's not enough. There is far more than enough love in my union. And I would love for more. And that is where we're going to move vibrationally right now into financially. Yes, I'm glad you're making income, and it sounds like you're supporting yourself. And I appreciate, Zara, that you did open up and share. And also, you're really actually not satisfied with your income because it's not covering all your debts and the amount of money that you want to spend. Is that an accurate statement?
Technically correct, but
Technically correct. Oh, zing! Now, I'm not here to zing you in a negative way and point out, you don't make enough money. Let me make you feel bad, Zara. That's so silly. What I am doing here is step 1 of the mirror exercise. Identifying the upset. So you're actually not satisfied with your money. Time for more, isn't it?
time for more, time for a change in mindset, absolutely.
Oh, you are speaking for the one consciousness of this meeting. One of the class. It is a class. It's a class, but it's also a meeting.
The reason I put my hand up is actually because from where I've been and to where I am now, I've come a long way. And I think it comes from a place of gratitude that even though it may seem that I don't have enough, I'm really grateful for what I do have.
Good.
Like, yes, there could be more, but
I know exactly
what makes
you
me
mean.
satisfied is,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, that.
I was relating to you. I said, I know exactly what you mean. I've lived in a tent and I've lived not in a place where I had a bed. And I've been, after that, in places where I had a bed I could sleep in. And that made me very, very grateful. But I was not, disillusioned. I was under no, illusion that that this is satisfying to me. I know what satisfaction is, and you know what satisfaction is, and that's what we're aiming toward: is perfection, completion. God here, totality in joy, totality of abundance, complete. And until we arrive there, we're not done yet. It's not time to sit back, relax, and party. And what I'd like to get us to the point is sit back, relax, and party.
And make money while doing it.
And be still making money.
And still making money.
The party part does not mean the end of the income. The party part means we have mastered income so much that now we can party.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until you've worked to the point that you are completely satisfied that you can truly party.
Mm-hmm.
How does that reality sound to you, Zara?
Wonderful. I agree with you 100%.
But first, And this is not to negate any of the gratitude you have or the success that you have achieved thus far, because there's no question that you've achieved great success thus far. And in acknowledging the upset, it doesn't mean not enough. It only means not there yet. Or there's an upset here that I choose to resolve. We must acknowledge the upset in order to move through it and past it. And yes, we're all here living our life purpose. We're all here filled with joy, filled with anticipation,
purpose,
with pleasure, with delight, with life, to be here sharing this work. But we can't stop there, because the fruits of God are so much greater than this. This is not the end point. And so we must continue. And continue means a lot of work. But a lot of work doesn't mean exhaustion. It
Not
means,
that it feels bad.
oh no.
Yeah.
Work, play, same thing. Who here does not like to play a lot? Raise your hand. If you got your hand raised right now, it's a mistake. No one's got their hand raised. Good. Everybody like to play. Now, the type of play that we like and enjoy changes over time, of course. But everybody likes to play.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're children of God.
Feels good.
Not boring of God. Not robots of God.
That's funny.
Not cogs of God. Children of God. Children like to play. And as I said, that kind of play evolves. And as a child, your play is work. If you ever watch a kid play with their toys, it's business. The way they talk to each other. Oh, no, and you're going to be the dinosaur, and I'm going to be the monster.
Yeah.
No, she said she's going to be the monster. Well, okay, we can both be monsters. But I'm the monster with teeth. Okay, and you can be the monster with the claws. Okay. All right. And then the play can commence.
Or, even, I remember when I used to play with my Barbies, it was like intense. It was like a whole world I created. And everyone had their proper place and their relationships. And oh yeah, I'd spend hours just, creating like a whole social network and world with my dolls. It was work.
So you look at children and you're like, oh, how lovely, how wistful, how easy it is to be a child. And the child's like, bitch, I'm busy. I got shit to do. Don't you get in my way. They're working when they're playing. And yet, the delight in that play.
I remember watching a kid play Lego.
That was me.
That was you,
super focused. You were watching me play Lego, recently.
I did. It was
thing,
work. You were.
I was hustling on that Lego, but it was so pleasurable. And there's no difference between that and what I'm doing right now and whatever I'm doing whenever I'm doing it. I seek always to let my work and my play be the same thing. And we've experienced working really hard a lot lately. And I'm not here to tell you stop doing that. I'm here to tell you find pleasure in that. And I don't mean you're working on the assembly line and you sing a song to make yourself feel not so miserable. That ain't it. I'm here to tell you when you're at work, when you come to your place where you're working, and it's what you find most joy in, acknowledge that there's joy there for you. And acknowledge that it's not devoid of work. But through that work that you put in to your play, it is joyous. It becomes your play. I'm here dancing, having a great old time, swearing, talking about memes, sharing my truth, sharing God, wisdom. I love this. Hanging out with my friends, my teammates, for a purpose, to change the world, to bring God to the world, to heal the world. Man, this is my jams. I love this. Now I'm working my ass off right now. I've got so much going on, but this is play. And you all know the same feeling when you get in front of a client. You sit them down and they're like, I'm so hurt, my twin flame won't text me, and he went over there and said this and did that, and Oh, we were so good together, but this sucks. And you're like, oh, girl, let me tell you about that mirror exercise. So what's your upset? We're going to do step one right here, right now. You know that feeling when you share with them this work and you see that look in their eyes. You can feel their vibration changing. You can look at that enlightenment, that wisdom, that peace dawning over their face. You mean I don't have to go out and try to get him to do shit to make me feel good? You mean I can go within myself and heal this right now? I don't need him. I don't need her. Oh my God. And then you get that client who's been with you for weeks or months or years. And they're like, they come to you, they know the mirror exercise, they've been doing it, and like, coach, teacher, friend, sales rep, I got this problem. And this is the thing that I just know it. I'm never going to get through it. This is the problem that's been plaguing me. You know, and I tried the mirror exercise and it doesn't work. And you're like, well, what's the upset? Well, he's still not talking to me. And you're like, oh, okay. Do you feel that part of yourself that's hurt by that? Duh, that's all I feel all day. What does she need to feel loved right now? Well, I guess she just needs a hug. Or he just needs a hug. Why don't you go give him a hug right now? Well, okay, I'll give him a hug, but this shit ain't gonna work. Okay, we're just finding peace here right now. And they hug that part of themselves, and they really dig deep, and they love that part of themselves. And you do it with them. And you're there loving that part of yourself too. And you're sniggering, you're like, I'm getting paid to do spiritual work right now. This is great. I had this upset, and now we're talking about it, and I'm healing it. They're coming to me for help, but I'm helping myself. And then you love that part of yourself. And they love that part of themselves, exactly like we're doing right now, in fact. And they find peace there. And once again, you see that peace dawn over their hearts, dawn over their faces, dawn over their lives. And you're like, wow, how do you feel? And they're like, well, I actually feel a lot better about this, huh? Okay. You're like, okay, good. So this is all you need to do to resolve that problem. And they're like, I know you're right, teacher, friend, sister, brother, sales rep. And they can finally let that upset go. And they come back to you and talk to you about how their lives are changing. That's why we're here, right? Like, this is play. This is spiritual play. We're not here because we're like some hard-ass salespeople. Like, that's not what we have here. But the people who love the product the most, who believe in the product, who believe in the company, who love it the most, who love being there the most, they're the ones who sell better than anyone else. It's not the hard-lining salesperson who's there to get some grub that makes the most money. It's the salesperson who loves their client and their company and their product more than any other salesperson. That's the one who makes the most money. You know, as a kid, I looked at the world, and I knew about big corporations and business leaders and people in charge of the planet. I learned about recycling, and I learned about global warming. And I said to myself as a young kid, man, it'd be so good if the people who wanted to love the world and love the people and who made decisions based upon God and high moral standards, if those people were in charge, if those people had power, if those people had money, the world would be such a better place, wouldn't it? And I made a decision in that moment, and I invite you to make that same decision right now that I made when I was a child. That I'm going to be rich, that I'm going to be powerful, that I'm going to be able to make decisions that impact the rest of the world in a positive way. I invite you to make that decision to be rich right now, to be powerful right now, to be in the position to make those decisions on behalf of the well-being of the rest of humanity. You can make that choice. Wouldn't it be better if you were the ones making those decisions with God in your heart? Wouldn't it be better if you were the ones with the money in your pocket to make those decisions, to make those investments? Wouldn't it be better if you were wealthy? If you had riches abundant, not just enough to pay your bills, not just enough to buy all the stuff you wanted, but a reality cultivated with deep riches where you could make investments in this planet, real investments, financial investments, where you could build buildings, where you can invest in companies, in charities, where you can invest in technology and research, where you can invest in whatever your heart desires, good design, fun games, good schools. That's the kind of power that we have here and that we can choose to cultivate. This is an innovation among innovations that we're bringing to the planet here. This is a breakthrough technology unlike any other breakthrough technology there has ever been. And it's in a industry, an arena, a place that's so powerful, so sensitive, so profoundly impacting to this planet and its people. Something that literally every single person desires in their heart. Not a technology that's going to help a lot of people, but a spiritual technology that is literally core and central to your design as a human being. And in its pursuit, which is incredibly intriguing, potent, and compelling, such that everyone in this world is driven by it on a primal level. And you alone have the answer. You alone have the market cornered. Now, there are many other companies and people and so-called spiritual teachers or entertainers who claim to have such a product. Many of you have run into them. Some of you may have even bought their product and been highly disappointed by the snake oil they've sold you. And many of you will be talking to clients who have been burned by such snake oil and yet still come back because they know there's something real in their hearts. Because every single person on this planet desires this product because it is the answer to the pain that they have been suffering through for lifetimes. It is literally the solution to every problem in their life. And we do need to be honest about what we're selling. It's not some crappy, crummy little thing in the corner of the internet. It's not even some amateur looking product anymore. It's very professional. It is a professional presentation. It has a highly professional corporation behind it. That's what we've all formed together, an organization, a fluidly functioning company supporting it. Now, it's not only just a really good product, it's a really good company that you represent. Now, I know if you're new here and you're not yet a vetted coach, you're working on that. And I implore you to get that done. And move through that process so you can be a vetted coach. Work your tail off to get through that piece. And if you're already a vetted coach, get those clients. We'll talk about that in a minute. Go through your process to acquiring clientele. That's work, but it's also play. And in a little bit, I'm going to introduce Adam, and he's going to talk a little bit about himself, and he's going to, he's training to be the next VP of sales when it is time. Not right now, not soon. He's going to have a very rich training process so that when he does inevitably take lead here, not without me, not with me leaving, but with me behind him, supporting him in doing so, you'll all feel more than comfortable, more than delighted at his presence. But for now, it's me here. I'm here talking to you. I'm here leading you. And with Adam by my side. And of course, Shalia.
Of course.
And of course, all of you.
Yeah.
when you're going through the process of play, of work, of attaining new clients, acknowledge that there's something you can do to build that fire, to stoke that fire that inevitably builds into great wealth. And that's your aim, not just a few clients to get by, but cultivating a dynamo of power in your coaching practice. Let me show you how that might look. You're out on the meme team, sharing memes every day. You're out on the fishing squad with your team, going out into places in the internet world and talking to people, meeting people, attracting your clients. And then you get leads. Some of those leads go to the Twin Flames Universe system, and they pop out to some of your friends. And some of your friends put leads in the system that pop out to you. You feed the system, and you feed your own private system, your own private coaching practice through this company. Whatever you put in, you get back out. Just as if you go out into the woods and you chop down a tree, man, that's work. Chop, 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 chop. They are hitting the tree. Chop, 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 chop. And it's work, and nothing has come of it yet. Chop, 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 chop for a little while. Chop, chop, and some little progress. Chop, 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 chop. And it's challenging. Your first tree, man, that's work. You don't know what to expect. And chop, chopping away. And eventually, timber! Oh, that's a satisfying thought. But it's not done yet. It's just your first lead. Now you got to drag it all the way back to camp. You hook it up to your horse and pat, giddy up. You take, it's a chugger kind of horse, and you bring it back to camp, and we get that fire rolling, get that fire started. It's a nice little ember, and you unhook it from your horse. You give your horse a nice carrot. Thank you, horse. Give it a little pat. Connect with it for a moment. Send it out to the, tie it up in camp or whatever. It's chomping, happy as can be. Did a good day's work for you. And then there's that log again. Chop, 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 chopping away. It's the same thing all over again, man. And then you get it after a while into pieces. You're doing free consults. Split. And some of these are little, pieces you can throw on the fire, but in the end, you're starting to get nice logs. You lay one on the fire. You can't lay them all there yet. You lay one good one, and you got some tinder there, and it starts to get heated up. And then you get a nice burning fire. You throw another log on there, and you get a nice little stack, but you realize, oh boy, I've got a process here to work, and I'll burn up all my logs here on this here warm fire, and it feels so good. But if I'm not going out into the woods and chopping more trees, bringing them back to camp, chopping them up and putting them on the wood pile, I'm not going to be able to have an eternal fire that roars. So I got to go back, chop, chop. But this time I'm warmed up. My fingers are warm. My heart is warm because I know I got that hearth at home back at camp. I know I got that fire in my soul because I know the process for chopping trees, it's work. But it starts to become pleasure. And it's hard work. My arms are sore. And my throat is sore from talking. My heart's exhausted from all this energy. But I'm getting stronger. And that fire at home is warming me up. And it's bringing friends around with the fire. And they're bringing coffee. And they're bringing treats. And they're cooking, warm things over the fire. I'm going to get back. And they're coming to my fire. And everyone's snacking down. And I learned the process for building that fire. And you learn the process for going out and getting leads, filtering them through. A lot of that work, it doesn't turn every single person you talk to into a lead. But you realize also, as you're out working, people come back to you. Lost leads will come back. Lost opportunities do come back. But not if you're sitting on your tail waiting for them. The harder you work, the luckier you get, because your vibration has raised, because you're starting to attract more, because you're working for God here. You're not working for a result. You're working for God, and God provides a result. And this is the same process of harmonious union. Chop, 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 chop. It becomes a rhythm in your mind, going out, talking to people, sharing the good news, connecting with people, loving them, giving them help. Chop, chop, but for the purpose of bringing them on into the inside, of cultivating them, of setting them on fire with the light of Christ, with the love of their twin flame, with the love of this community. And the peace that you cultivate in going out, talking to people, creating videos and sharing them on the internet, sharing memes, writing blogs, writing guest blogs for Twin Flames Universe, developing your own website. Man, you guys could be working out, chopping away all day long. If you can handle it, if you can go out there and work. And what I hope to instill in you in today's sales and coaching meeting is that you can be doing something actively about your not so good feeling about your finances. And it's not so good if it's not rich and abundant. And it might be good. It might be like Zara, and it's pretty good so far, but it's not yet completely satisfying on every level. And so you go out and you chop, or you go out and you speak the word. You go out and you tick, 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 tick away on your keyboard, sharing the word. And eventually you might go out and organize events. And if we don't have time to talk about this in this sales meeting, we're going to talk about it in the next one. Because pretty soon, Shalia and I are going out for an event. And it's play just as much as it's work. And it's chopping wood just as much as it's sitting by the fire.
It's talking about New York.
Yeah.
So you may not know.
There's no difference you'll come to realize from going out and speaking the word, sharing and connecting with people, and being warmed by the fire. Because you know in that giving, you are receiving. And at first, it's going to seem like, man, I'm speaking so much, and I'm getting such little result, but that's the only way you're going to get results. That's the only way you're going to get this started. That's the price you must pay to get your business going. You are independent business owners here, linked into a larger company that serves you, and that you are cultivating a healthy, prosperous relationship with. We're right here on the other end loving you. All your friends are here on the other end working to build that same thing. And as you build this company, it builds you. And as you build your company builds Twin Flames Universe. And as Twin Flames Universe grows, it builds your company. It's a harmonious, symbiotic relationship of abundance. But the only way that you can cultivate that is you go out and you work. You work. You share the good word. You share the peace of this work. And my God, does that feel peaceful? My God, does that alone invigorate you with the light of Christ? And my God, does it feel good to share the light of Christ with others? And here is the way. Here is the work. And you're going to get into that rhythm in your life, and it feels good. It's like the beat of a drum, or the tick-tick of a keyboard, or the chopping away of the tree in the forest, ready to be felled and dragged back to camp, ready to be split up and laid on the fire in its proper time, ready to warm you with the love of God's wealth and abundance. And as you get good at this, and it's not going to feel like a veritable fortune at first, it's not going to feel like the riches of a billionaire first, riches of an influential business magnate, you know what I'm trying to say? Magnate.
I think so, right?
Or influential politician or leader at first. But you cultivate that. And pretty soon, your one client turns into two. And your two client turns into three pretty consistent weekly clients. And they sign up for TFAS, or as Adam's going to talk to you pretty soon, you start out the relationship with a subscription to TFAS. And now you've
Membership.
Excuse me, thank you. A membership to TFAS or LPC or both. And that sets the foundation for a long-term relationship. Pretty soon, 3 turns into 4. And every week, 4 clients. And the rest of the time, chop, 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 chop. You're out there working. You're out there spreading the word in all the ways that God shows you, all the ways that compel you. Some of you will create endless YouTube videos. Some of you like to blog. Some of you will create live, events where you just watch our videos and you chat about it. Some of you will speak on the internet. Some of you will create ads and attract people. There's all kinds of things that you can do here. You just put your mind to it. You just open your mind and let God show you. There's so many resources here in this community, so many positions that you can hold that get you deeper in your involvement here. But you always start first with the desire in your heart, and God will show you. God will call you there. You already know what you want to do when you listen into that whisper. And it's not the loudest voice. It doesn't ever speak first. God speaks second and quietly. The loud voice, the anxiety, fear-inducing voice always speaks first, and it always speaks loudest, but you must have the discipline to not listen to it, to wait patiently for the song of God, for the song of peace, for the Om of the universe, the vibration of love. And when that screaming clears, when that urgency clears, all that's left is love. And that's when you listen. That's when you hear. That's when you see clearly. That's when you speak clearly. That's when you are invigorated with the love of God to go out and share his word. And that's what I call you to do today. And that's what I promise you when you listen, when you hear, and when you speak God's word. You will be abundant. You will be powerful. You will be a leader. You will make decisions on behalf of all of humanity. And those decisions will be of God. God will empower you to love others. God will make you rich as fuck. Not to the point where I can have a nice home. I can have all my needs met. I can buy whatever I want. But I am so abundant in wealth that anytime God ever calls me with the desire that the money has been there for ages, that my fortune is limitless, this is the way. It doesn't start with your first chop. And if you chop twice and you look and your fortune isn't limitless yet, don't dismay. It is a process of learning to master a fortune. But you have begun that process. And all you have to do is listen to God and share his words. And the word is love. And the word is peace. And the word is abundance. And the word is harmony. And the word is power and empowerment. The word is life. And the word is. And you are the word. And the word is you. And all you have to do is speak that word. Speak it with your every word. Speak it with your every sentence, with your every action, with all that you are. Go out and share that word with others. And if you go into the sales group that I've created, and maybe Brianne can share, or maybe Crystal can share from the sales group to these coaches and training group, the sales conversation that I had with a client. And that client did not want to listen. That client had already set her mind, but there was an opening in her. And that client made it clear that she was already going to cancel. And there was nothing I could do to change her mind. I wasn't trying to change her mind. I spoke the word of God. I loved her because there was a place where she was open. Everything in her said, fuck off, go away, don't want you. Except for one little piece. Piece that said, please love me. Please help me. Please share God's words with me. Please show me the way. I'm not going to listen to you, but I still need that love. It was God calling me to love her. It was God calling me to speak the word to her. It was God saying to me, please, Jeff, love my daughter. And when God calls, you answer. You don't need to know why. You don't need to know what's going to happen. The miracle is not yours. You will never know the wide-reaching implications of miracles that you speak, that you share when you are. But God knows. God loves you. And God calls for you to love his children now, today. The time is now. The time is now to begin the work, to go out and speak. And I've given you some ideas. But my leadership is to point you within to God, to the true leader inside of you. That's how you will speak the word. That's how you will conquer your financial upsets. All you must do is speak the word. Speak it with vigor. Speak it with integrity. Speak it with love. Speak it with power. Speak it with conviction. Know that you are right, that you are righteous in this work, that no fear can strike you down, that there is no conflict, that there is no war, that there's no fight, that you need not argue. They might tell you you're in an argument, but you are not. They might tell you that they don't want it, but they do. They might tell you that you are harassing them, but you have not come to harass. You are not harassing when you are speaking love where God calls you to. They might tell you that they are afraid, but they are compelled to receive the juicy light of God's love through your words that I have given you. You need not even speak your own words. You need only speak the word of God. The word is love. The word is peace. The word is harmony. The word is harmonious union with your twin flame, with their twin flame. The word is abundance. How many of you have seen your clients experience financial miracles from this work? How many of you have experienced financial miracles yourselves when you have decided to move forward in this work? You are not taking from your clients. You are showing them abundance and riches. You are not taking from your clients when you show them riches and you ask them to use them to support their way in this work, on this path. It is safe for them to invest that money back into this work. You are not here to show them one miracle. You are here to show them a life of miracles. You are not here because you experienced one miracle. You are here because you experienced a life of miracles. Miracles are the way. Miracles are God's way. The way is by miracle. That is his way. It's safe to help your clients with this work. No one does not want it. And if they aren't before you, they are before you because God called them to be there. Now, whether they become your client today or tomorrow or eventually or 10,000 years from now, it does not matter. What matters only is that you speak when God calls you. You are called. I call you forth. Wake up to your wealth. Wake up to the word. Wake up to the love in your heart, for it desires to be expressed through you. I cannot be the only one to speak God's word, nor can you be the only one to speak God's word. But you are called to speak it, and I am called to speak it, and I am here standing as testimony to the word of God. I speak it. You can too. You must. To have it, you must speak it. And when you speak it, it expands. But only when you speak it. Only when you share it. And when you share it, you might notice you get a little richer. And when you keep sharing it, when you make a habit of sharing it, your life bursts with abundance, with riches, with financial enlightenment. It might start as a little ember, a little fire in the center of the encampment of your life. But it's there. It is there. It is there, the form of your desire to show up, to be here with this work. And you arise to the occasion. I have some friends here in class today who can share with you some ideas, some opportunities for you to share. Hint Al and hint Adam, I'm about to call on you. Let's read what Hillary has to say, please.
Can I click on that again?
Hillary says, truly beautiful and very moving words. I had chills. It was so powerful what you were saying, Jeff.
Thank you.
That is the word. And that is what happens to your clients when you speak the words in your heart. And maybe they sound a little goofy to you when you speak them. Maybe they're a little stumbly, don't come out so easy. Maybe you're a little nervous when you speak them. Maybe you're a little clumsy. Maybe you don't know how to quite close the deal. And they're like, I'm ready to buy. And you're like, okay. And they're like, what's next? And you're like, will you go buy then? And then the call closes off and you're like, oops. And you got to message them back, hey, are you ready to buy? And they're like, oh. And the clumsy. And you work through it. But you get there by showing up. And maybe they go away and that's okay. Do not get disheartened. Show up. So Al, you had some ways that our coaches, our salespeople can become a part of this. They can volunteer, they can help. Would you be willing to share some of those ways that you've got that they can get involved and start cultivating clients and cultivating leads for themselves?
Yeah, of course. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfectly.
Okay, great. I'm on a cell phone connection. Yeah, so, it's been really apparent that the people who are out there, we say like on the fields or on the front lines, like talking to people and sharing, you're building relationships and you have a lot of success. So we have two things. The main two things are the meme team and the fishing team within, the media sphere. And then there are other roles as well in there. But, the meme team is basically, we have all this product that we're putting out into the world. And we just need people to help share it and share the word. And it's super easy. And it helps, I think it's going to help coaches a lot with clearing out the blocks to sharing the work, which is part of what I think part of the sales blocks have been is, if you're selling something to someone and you're not confident in it, they're not going to be either. And I think that's something that's really helpful is sharing the work. And then we have the fishing team as well. So what that is like an organized yet organic, really fun way of going into all these spiritual groups. People who are already open and already know about Twin Flames and are, currently in groups of people with these teachers that are, telling them all sorts of interesting things. And it's really fun because you're really helping people and you're really reaching people. And yeah, there's a lot of hilarious things that you run into. And it's a group organized effort. You're going to, have like weekly hangouts, and you build relationships there. And I would say that like at least 70% of the leads that I have closed have come from that. And
Wow.
sometimes it takes, 3 months, sometimes it takes 6 months. I get a message out of the blue sometimes from someone that's like, oh, you sent me the mirror exercise, 3 months ago. Can I talk to you? And yeah, so like you were saying, like bring them back to the fire. Well, this is what that is. You go into that group, either you're sharing the meme or you're talking to people on these threads that are just so sad. These people need this work so much. And there's a strategy to doing it, so like you don't get kicked out of the group or whatever, but you friend them and you can bring them into our group, you can welcome them. You're building a relationship with them, even if you don't subscribe like right away or become a membership member or whatever. You're building that relationship, and your relationships are the core of your business, and that's something that you can
Yes.
you can learn how to do that with us. And I'm going to eventually help foster everybody in learning how to brand and media for themselves, for their own companies, for their own sovereign stuff. But the first step is to share the work and build those relationships. So that's what we have to offer. Jesse is our lead for the meme team, so that's the where you're sharing the memes. And Jennifer is leading the fishing squad, where you're going out and talking to people. So you can get in contact with either one of them or me if you want to get more involved with media. But that's really a great way of, mastering that and clearing those blocks to sharing and connecting with people and really learning how to love, the people. And in essence, you're loving yourself when you're doing that. So it's really powerful and it's really fun. And yeah, it's pretty hilarious too sometimes, some of the stuff that we've seen. Yeah, so thank you guys.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Al.
Thank you, Alan.
So these are 2 ways that you can commit to right now in your hearts to get involved in sharing the work, where you can get direction and guidance and support and leadership, where you can have a very clear, easy way to get involved in going out chopping wood, speaking the word. So even if it's a very small commitment, you can make a small commitment right now in your hearts to join the meme team or the fishing team. And this is a brilliant way to help your business. This is a brilliant way to get involved in speaking the word. This is a way that we've cultivated as a company to help you get out there, to help you get involved, to help you get better at sharing the word. So let's take a moment to just breathe that peace into our hearts in that place. It is safe to invite peace here. It is safe to love yourself here. It is safe to experience the truth here. It is safe to know God's desire moving through you here. There's a desire here in your heart. God has spoken it into you. And God has made way for you to accept that desire, to say yes in your heart to it, to say yes in your heart to extending the word. It's not always the way that you think it should be, but being an instrument for God means that you accept what God's way is for you. Means you release what way you think it should be, because that way doesn't work. And you let it be God's way. That's the only way that works. Who among you feels God's desire in their hearts right now? Please raise your hand. Loud and clear. I feel it. I feel God's desire in my heart. Okay. Put those hands down. Who among you here feels God's desire in your heart to commit right now, even just a little bit, to joining the fishing team and getting involved there, or joining the meme team and getting involved in there? Raise your hands right now if you're feeling God's desire speaking through you to get involved, even just a little bit there. Keep them up. Keep them up. If you've had your hand raised here, I want you immediately after this call just to send a message to Al and say, I'm in, and get that conversation started. You might feel a little uncomfortable, might feel a little nervous, you might feel a little challenged, you might feel a little bit of anxiety or fear surrounding that choice. But it started first with a commitment to God and God's desire. And you can trust that commitment done in a state of peace. And it's work. Right now, you're chopping wood inside. This is the inner work. But you're doing it with God. We're doing it together. We're doing it in peace. So I know I promised Adam, and I promised you all that we would have the opportunity to speak with Adam, but we're going to do that the first thing in our next sales meeting. And we're going to take this time to just have a last 5-minute discussion. So, Lindsay, I think you're Lindsay Cindy Smith. Hi, you're right in the center of our screen. Did you raise your hand that you felt God's desire and you committed to God's desire to be part of the meme with the fishing teams?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did that feel like to you?
What did it feel like to experience like the flow of energy moving through me?
God's desire in your heart, and then your choice to accept that desire and move forward to commit to it.
I'd say clarity and relief, both.
Oh, okay. Can you share a little bit more about that?
I think it's helpful when you say, even if it's just a little bit, I think that that's really helpful just because of the lives that people lead, like the full lives.
Yeah.
And inevitably, like the path gets, when you invest in a certain path, it'll snowball and you can invest more into the path. But initially, you know, you have to start with a small lane in order to, and so I think that that's helpful. But yeah, I'm all about that, like energetic work. And I love us all tuning in and doing that with our hearts. It's so powerful. And I'd say just the commitment to tune in and hear the words and to sink into the heart, just the clarity and the relief were just overwhelming. And it's yeah. And then when you said even a little bit, I felt like everyone kind of be like, oh, okay, yeah. You know?
It doesn't have to be this big commitment. It doesn't have to take over your life. You know, chopping wood, some of us can only do that for 5 minutes a day. And you've got to acknowledge where you're at. It doesn't mean, you know, stop everything else and go chop wood and then get exhausted and burn out and then be at the, you know, back at camp sucking your thumb in a little ball. No one wants that. And for me, the longest time, it was exercise was a hard thing to get going. But I just started with 5 minutes a day on my treadmill. Just 5 minutes a day. And I didn't even have to do anything. I could walk at the slowest pace. And just showing up to that commitment felt good. And knowing that I could always fall back on just the tiniest little bit of commitment help keep that fire going. And when I got there, I didn't feel pressured to do anything. And I know that it was the right thing to do to commit. But I also know that it was the right thing to do to give myself freedom to commit at the level I desired. And you know what happened? Usually I, would walk for 10 minutes. And then over time, I started to run a little bit. And then over time, I started to run a little bit more and walk a little bit more until it turned into 15 or 20 minutes sometimes. And then I'd push myself, and the next day I'd go back to a lot less. And I found my balance. I found peace there. I found that I could build something slowly over time. And finally, I was at least on the right track to getting it done. And I felt really good, and I feel really confident that I have this little warm seed that I've cultivated and I'm cultivating. And finally, I'm growing my way out of that place where I'm not satisfied with my body. And you can do that too with the meme team, even just a little commitment, just 5 minutes a day, sharing memes, 5 minutes a day, fishing. And if you don't want to go to big meetings all the time, you don't have to. But that resource is there for you. And if you don't want to share memes every single day, you don't have to. If you don't want to go fishing, go to fishing events every single day, you don't have to. But if you can commit to these chopping activities, these sharing of the word activities for just 5 minutes a day, you're finally on track to healing your finances, to having a better relationship with God, to healing your union, and to spreading this work and growing in God's love. How does that feel to you, Lindsay?
It feels good.
Is there anything about this that does not feel good to you?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So it's a lot of energy, though, isn't it, to accept this?
It's a lot of energy.
But it doesn't drain on you, does it?
There's no reason for it to drain on me.
No, but it does require a commitment to work through, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm feeling it big in my heart right now. And you all might be too. Raise your hand if you're feeling that big energy in your heart and you're not quite sure what to make of it yet. Something new, something different, something familiar, something unfamiliar. That's the commitment you've made. Just to share God's word and join, either the meme team or the fishing squad and get involved even just a little bit. That commitment, it's a funny feeling. And remember, fear speaks loudest and first. And you might be hearing fear there, but it's safe to commit there. It's safe to have peace there. It's safe to work through that feeling. You might have been afraid to commit before, but God laid the foundation for us. We're all here together in this. So I invite you all to work through that feeling. And that's going to take time, and it's a process. But before you've found ultimate peace there, act on your commitment. So let's all do this right now. If you have a device you can pull up, if you can message Elle, or you can post in your coaches forum, or you can post in the your coaches and training forum right now. I'm going to do it with you. I've got my phone out, and I'm just going to type to Elle, I'm in. Or if I don't have Elle's contact information, I'm going to go to either one of those groups I just stated and say I'm in. Me, I'm going to go right to Elle, so she doesn't have to comb through the forum. Searching my little media thing.
It's Elle Gaia, Gaia.
L.Gaia.1111 is the ad. And I've got her up right here. Yeah, do this with me right now. Get on your device, even if you have to tab out, just type I'm in. If you felt that desire in your heart, I'm in.
So that means her email is l@twinflamesuniverse.com.
Yeah. Media at Twin Flames Universe. Whatever the case may be, you don't need to add any more of those. Just message her right now on pretty much all on Facebook. I'm in. If you decided, even if you're already part of those teams, go ahead and type I'm in as a further commitment. And it doesn't mean you're going to spend hours a day and you got to get super involved. Even just 5 minutes a day, if you can commit to that, do that. Just say I'm in. And that lets her know that you have the desire in your heart and you committed to that right here. I'm in. Just 2 words. Who sent her I'm in right now? Who did that just now? Who sent I'm in? That's good. For those of you that did not do that, why not? Sarah, why not? Sarah Maeve, why not? You know you didn't. Why not?
Okay, because internet's slow where I am and I'm pulling it up right now.
We're still pulling it up. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have every intention of doing it.
Go ahead right now. Go ahead right now. Chanel, did you message Armin and have the desire in your heart? Chanel McDaniel, did you? You gotta unmute yourself, honey, if you want to respond to me, Chanel McDaniel.
Hello.
Did you message Elle I'm
Oh
in?
my God. No, I didn't. I wasn't sure if I should or not.
Did you have the desire in your heart?
To do something else?
To get involved there in those ways? Did you have the desire in your heart?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So
Yes,
you
sir.
didn't because you weren't sure? Go ahead and message her right now. I'm in. No reason not to. See, Danny's doing it right now. Okay. You can mute yourself, Sarah. We believe that you're going to do it.
I already did it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So, let's try that again. Raise your hand right now if you messaged I'm in to Al. Raise your hand. Or you typed it or you sent it to her. Raise your hand right now. Or if you're doing it right now, raise your hand and let me know. You did. Keep it raised so I know. Sage, why not? Why not? Why did you not? Did you not feel the desire in your heart?
No, I'm already on the meme team, but I did message Jennifer asking if I could join the fishing squad.
Oh, great. So you must have missed me saying that. Well, let's try again. If you have the desire in your heart, even if you're already part of the team, raise your hand. You're part of the team. That's what I mean. That's beautiful. Lou, you don't have your hand raised. Why not? Did you not feel the desire in your heart?
Because I used to be in the fishing team and with Elle before, and I didn't feel like I want to continue in the.
Okay. But do you have the desire in your heart right now? Did God plant that desire in your heart? Yes or no? That's the question.
Yes.
He did. So the desire is in your heart.
Yes.
So why would you not answer that call?
Mm.
Is the desire not a call from God? Do you not trust God and His way for you? Even if it was, not the way before. God's calling you now, isn't He?
Mm.
So do you choose to answer that call?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
If you don't answer the call, your client never will. How could they if you can't? If you haven't? Go ahead right now, Lou. Say I'm in. Message her right now.
All right.
Okay. So I think we get the point. I'm not gonna wrangle you any further. I'm in. Are you? So thank you so much for another juicy Sales and Coaches meeting.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next week, where we'll start off with Adam and we'll share his ideas with you. And be blessed. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll
So
see you.
much.
So much. Thank you.
Bye.
Love
You're
you.
welcome. Love you too.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.